was pregnant, but I was about to go skydiving. Because my husband begged me to do it.
Don't be afraid, honey. It's a thrill-seeker's baby. It will love the free fall.
Luckily, I threw up. Otherwise, Nick would have made me jump out of the plane. He was very upset that I didn't get to experience skydiving with him. So, the next morning, he prepared a new adrenaline bomb.
Put on your helmet. We're going to a rally race.
What? But it's risky for the baby. My words offended Nick. He accused me of not trusting him and started packing his things.
Why did you even marry me then? You know, I'm an excellent driver. What are you so afraid of?
I tried to explain that pregnancy had increased my instinct of self-preservation. But he didn't understand, because he was missing that instinct. It was quite the opposite. He was always purposefully looking for the most extreme adventures. However, I was afraid that he would leave. The excitement right before the start made me nauseous again. But that didn't stop Nick. He came prepared. He looked like the happiest man on earth when he started the engine and hit the gas. The adrenaline rush always put him on cloud 9. I was holding my stomach throughout the race and praying for everything to be okay. Fortunately, my prayers were answered. Everything went well, and Nick and I even got a prize. But that prize only made things worse. He instantly got an even greater thirst for adrenaline and new adventures. When we got back home, I only dreamed of one thing: lying peacefully on the couch in the arms of a loved one. But Nick was too excited for that. As if possessed, he typed something on his phone and suddenly jumped up, shouting,
Wow! I found it! It will give the three of us the most thrilling sensations! Diving with sharks! Tomorrow! How cool is that?
I saw the sparkle in his eyes and was afraid to say anything. After all, I knew he would start packing again if I said no. But all those adrenaline rushes had gone too far. And I had to choose. Risk my child's safety or keep it safe and be lonely. Nick, it's time to stop this. We're going to be parents soon, and we have to be careful for the sake of the baby. I didn't breathe while waiting for his answer, but his response was unexpected. He agreed with me. From that day forward, we started living a normal life. No jumps into the abyss, waterfall rafting, or nights in the desert. However, Nick was so used to upping the dose of excitement every day that without it, he fell into a depression. It hurt me to see my husband wasting away. So I spent days thinking of a safe way to give him back his taste for life. And I finally found it. Some of my pregnant friends tried to dissuade me after hearing my plan.
It's too risky. You can lose romance forever. His psyche won't take this.
I hesitated. But then I remembered that Nick always insisted on seeking thrills together. So I decided to give it to him in full. Honey, we're going to give birth together. I expected any sort of reaction, but not the one I got. My Nick, who dreamed of jumping into the crater of a volcano, suddenly turned pale started sweating and trembling with fear. Yet he couldn't refuse.
Okay. I can do it, and I will.
When my contractions started, I was surprised to see my old happy Nick return. With every minute of childbirth, he was bursting with adrenaline.
Well done, Sophie. You're my champion.
And when the doctor allowed him to cut the umbilical cord, Nick surprised me with his words.
This is the most extreme thing I've ever done.
After welcoming our son into the world, Nick stopped going on dangerous adventures. As soon as Nick Jr. started walking, we found ourselves with an extreme adventure in our hands. He turned out to be just like his father, absolutely restless. So we had to put a lot of effort into ensuring the safety of our boy.
Wow, kids are such an adrenaline rush. However, dear, it's not enough for me.
I was afraid that Nick had fallen back into his old habits. Do you want to chase tornadoes? Dive into a crocodile pool?
No! I want one another baby! Let's do it! Together!
Raising a happy child is the most difficult and most interesting challenge in life.
I get tired of my constantly stressed out wife. So I found myself a young and cheerful mistress. We wanted to go to the islands to spend some time together. But I saw my wife near the plane. I was afraid that she would find out about us. So I spilled some wine on my mistress' dress. While she was washing the stain off, I walked over to my wife. What a pleasant surprise! What are you doing here? My wife looked guilty as she remembered that it was our anniversary.
I just thought how sad you would be alone, so I took some days off from the hospital to be with you.
Lily rushed in to take the seat next to me, even though she has a business class ticket.
I'll ask the person sitting next to you if they want to change seats. Imagine how happy they will be.
I couldn't let that happen. So I stopped Lily and turned to the flight attendant. Excuse me, it's our anniversary and I'm sitting 20 rows away from my wife. The girl immediately understood what I meant and managed to get us both seats in business class. It was convenient to watch my Mistress Catherine from there. After she came back from the washroom, she started looking around for me, trying to find me. No. My wife and my mistress were not supposed to know about each other. Ma'am, we're about to take off and that pregnant lady is wandering around the plane. Wouldn't it be best to help her? The flight attendant helped Catherine find her seat. The plane took off, and I was finally able to breathe a sigh of relief. The flight was quite short, so my plan was to switch between classes so that none of my women would suspect a thing. Suddenly, the pilot interfered with my plan. Today, Dylan and Lily Smith are celebrating their 5th anniversary on board. Congratulations! The entire plane turned their attention to us, and so did my lover, Catherine.
Are you married? Is that why you didn't propose to me?
Catherine was 8 months pregnant, but I wasn't planning on getting a divorce just to stay with her. I was quite happy with having 2 women in my life.
Don't you have anything to say? Well, if you ever want to talk, you know where to find me.
Catherine left, and my wife was waiting for an explanation. It was time for me to make a choice. Catherine was young and principled, and I had no idea what to do to earn her forgiveness. However, I knew how to save my marriage, and the best offense is a good defense. You're demanding an explanation, so here it goes. Can you remember the last time we slept together? You always cared more about your patients than you cared about me. There's your explanation. It worked like a charm. Lily looked guilty. I slowed down and offered to forget everything and suggested for us to have a drink. But the flight attendant interrupted us. She informed me that Catherine was going into labor.
Your husband said you were a doctor. Could you please stay with her until we land?
I was surprised when Lily agreed to help my mistress. Wait, there are more important things going on. The champagne will get warm. My wife walked into economy class without looking back. Eventually, the plane landed, but there was no time to get Catherine to a hospital. So my wife delivered her baby right there on the plane. I waited for Lily next to the baggage carousel for a very long time and resorted to my good old tactics, pointing fingers. Well, where have you been? I've been standing here like a fool. I recall someone promising me that she would start working less. As it turned out, I went too far. My wife was willing to forgive my betrayal, but she refused to put up with my heartlessness and selfishness.
I blamed myself for so long for not giving you the attention you deserved, but I'm finally turning that page today. Goodbye.
You may be able to manipulate people's feelings, but you can't control their hearts.